The kids and grandkids, they make fun of me all the time because one of my most popular sayings is, "Are you listening? Are you listening?" Communication is hard. It is difficult between parents and children. It is difficult between coworkers. The majority of the problems between married couples. If you do not know me, my name is Dora, and I am a grandma of 7, mother of 3 adult children, and married to my husband for over 39 years. We have a really busy village, and at times things can get interesting. I wanted to share about how we communicated with each other in the past and the way that we are learning to communicate today. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone that ended badly and you're not sure why? Have you ever had someone say to you, "Why are you yelling at me?" when you never even raised your voice? Communication can be difficult. It really is a two-way street. And sometimes we find out that we were never even on the same street. I remember one day when our daughter was in the 5th grade. I'd just gotten off a conference call and went to listen to my messages. I had a message from her, followed by a message from her dad. Her message went something like this: "You need to talk to Dad. He just called me trash." Now, the reality is that I know her dad would never call her trash. One of our foundational rules in our house was that we didn't call names. They're hurtful, and we didn't hurt each other on purpose. Well, of course, my next message was from her dad. He was letting me know that they had had an argument, and she was upset because he said that her room needed to be picked up because it looked like trash. He didn't call her trash, but that is exactly what she heard. So, of course, they were not really communicating well. Here's another example of one of those communication blow-ups. When our son was in the 10th grade and just learning how to drive, my husband decided that it was okay to let him drive to his girlfriend's house since we needed to drop him off anyway. So here's the picture. My sophomore son is the driver, and my husband is in the front passenger seat, and my other son and I are in the back. My son that is learning to drive pulls out of the driveway and begins to drive us down the road. My husband tells him to look over his shoulder, turn on his signals so he could move lanes. My son says, "I know," just like any other teenager would say. What he was saying was, "I hear you, Dad, and that is what I will do." But that is not what my husband heard. What my husband heard was, "Don't tell me what to do. I know what I am doing." Of course, that's not what he said, but that is what my husband heard. My husband said, "You do not know." My son said, "I know." Of course, my husband said, "You know nothing." Needless to say, that was the end of the driving lesson. Our son that was in the back seat with me said, "Mom, I think we're going to die." And obviously, we need a different plan. So, of course, you can tell that we were not communicating effectively on that day. The kids and grandkids, they make fun of me all the time because one of my most popular sayings is, "Are you listening? Are you listening?" Communication is hard. It is difficult between parents and children. It is difficult between coworkers. It is the majority of the problems between married couples. Here is what we learn to do in order to communicate better with each other. First, we learned we have to listen. We practice this in our family. I mean, really listen. If someone is talking to us, then that means that our head is up and we're paying attention to the other person, especially the little ones. When we talk to our little ones, we always make sure that we look them in the eye and we ask them to look us in the eyes. I hate when I'm talking to someone and their eyes are focused on the phone. I wait until they put the phone down before I talk, because what I have to say is important and I want their attention. I have to ask myself, am I really listening to the kids? Or do they have to fight for my attention because I'm distracted? I know they will learn that their voice is not important if I don't give them my undivided attention. I'm a busy person, and we have a busy household. If I'm on the phone or in the middle of an important message on my computer, then I ask the person wanting to talk to me to wait until I finish. Then I can give them my undivided attention. If my husband comes into the room to talk to me, and if I am able, I will stop and give him my undivided attention. If I have to complete something, then I ask him to wait so I can give him my undivided attention as soon as I am finished. Second, we respond to each other and interact with each other. I try to listen to exactly what they are saying and sometimes what they are not saying. Here is what I mean. Now, my children are adults, so we have healthier conversations. Well, we should have healthier conversations, but that's not always the case. Here's a conversation with my youngest son, who has 3 daughters. Mom, what are you and Dad doing on Friday night? Here's what I heard him say. I need someone to watch the girls because we have plans. Here's another example that happens all the time in our family. When my grandkids get home from school and they tell me that they have had a bad day, if I am not listening, then I will miss the fact that they are really sad. I want to know why they had a bad day. So I stop and ask, why did you have a bad day? It is important to interact and engage in the conversation. Real communication really is a two-way street. The third thing that we try to do is repeat back to the person, and this probably has been the best thing that we have done. We repeat back to the person what they have asked of us or what they have said. For my son asking me about what I'm doing on Friday night, this is what I will say to him. What I'm hearing is that we need to watch the girls on Friday. This has helped us out tremendously to get through the fog and straight to the point. When they were kids, repeating back what was said to each other and what we heard was always helpful when we were giving out tasks, especially. I would ask my kids when they were younger, what did I just ask you to do? Still today, I ask my adult kids, tell me again, what is it that I need you to do, or what is it that you need me to do? I do not move on until I make sure that what was said is understood exactly. And then I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, and they know exactly what I've asked them to do. No one is a mind reader, and we should not expect them to be. This is also helpful with husbands. I love it when my husband says to me, here's what I heard you say. Yes, that is exactly what I said. We taught our children to communicate like this most of the time, and they learned to have healthier conversations as they got older. Have you been communicating with your loved ones effectively? This exercise works with kids, grandkids, other adults, coworkers, bosses, and especially spouses. So first, really listen. Undivided attention, no distractions. Second, respond to them and interact with them. Engage them in the conversation. Third, repeat back what you heard and have them repeat back to you what they said. We are still not perfect as a family, and as I get older, it gets harder. My patience gets challenged much quicker. Sometimes I have to take a deep breath and give some time, like this. And maybe another one. I hope this helps. I'm just a grandma sharing our family stories. I would love for you to comment and share a story about a communication problem you have experienced. I also get so excited when I see that my friends have shared this with others. If this makes sense to you or you find it useful, give me a like so I know that I should keep on sharing our stories. Thank you for taking your time to listen, share, and respond. I appreciate you and feel more and more blessed each day. See you next time.